PowerPoint from last year. You just had to go in and update it.
No, I needed to redo it.
You redid it?
I redid it.
I'm like, the beauty of that PowerPoint was you could just update it
Oh,
with the new numbers.
simplified it a bit.
Okay.
I simplified
Marty will appreciate that because she's just going to update it.
it. Okay.
What was your question?
We're not passing this out, right? We used to give everyone a and then everyone had it in their hand. I like it better this way.
Yeah, no, I don't. People can ask questions of that, and then you have it for reference. I'm gonna put the light on for now.
right to be up front.
I know. Can I ask people, you guys can move forward a little bit. Hello, we're going to get started. That's awesome. Thank you. If everybody wants to like come forward a few rows, then it's, you know, we got plenty of room up here. Great. And we're going to get started.
Jen doesn't bite, so come on.
I don't bite. Okay. So, thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to start off with inviting up Craig Barger, who is our immediate past president and the head of our nominating committee. So I'm going to have him start us off, talk about the slate.
Thank you, Jen. Good evening, everybody. The first thing I want to do is I want to thank two members of our board who are stepping down for their service to the board. That's Beth Herr and Hannah Thomas. My sincere appreciation to our treasurer, Rhonda Jelinek, who has one more month to go. And her husband's very excited about that, but he doesn't know we have other things for her to do. And I think it's also appropriate to acknowledge Jen Delaney, 2 years vice president. She has one more board meeting, and then she will step down and take the role of immediate past president. And we appreciate all the efforts that she has put in, particularly the 50th anniversary gala. That was very exciting, and I'm sure that everybody who was there enjoyed it very much. You can't hear my voice? Jeez. Okay. Can you hear it better now? Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. So, the board met on March 11th to approve the new board members and to approve some movement from one position to another on the board. So I'm going to tell you all about that. First of all, as you know, Jen Delaney's stepping down to be the immediate past president with a term that goes until 6/30 of 2028. So she thinks she's going to get away, but she's not. The board is recommending for the president of this congregation from 7/1 of 26 to 6/30 of 28, Alicia Dancy. As I indicated, Rhonda Jelinek is stepping down from the role of treasurer, but she's taking on the responsibility of financial secretary from 7/1/26 to 6/30 of 28. Okay? We have my lovely wife Elaine has agreed to be secretary again from 7/1/26 to 6/30 of 28. And our good friend Marty McIntosh has been convinced that she has the skills and the personality to be our new treasurer, 7/1/26. And we know Ron is going to be very helpful during this transition because it's not an easy job. As part of the realignment, Alicia agreed to be president if somebody would take over as vice president. So, surprise, surprise, I'm going to turn into a vice president. Howard Wiseman is stepping down from VP to a regular board membership from 7/1/26 to 6/30 of 29. Scott Weber is stepping down from financial secretary to regular board person from 7/1/26 to 6/30/29. There are 3 brand-new members of the board that we're recommending. Lynn Mendez, Gary Fraden, and Marcy Swede. Okay? So as we normally do, we would ask the people who are becoming board members or are moving around on the board to take a step out into the multipurpose room so the board can, so the congregation can make a decision. And I'll repeat the names again so everybody knows for sure. No, I don't have to go. Nah, I'm not going. I did all the work. Come on. So again, here we have the president, Alicia Dancy, the immediate past president, Jennifer Delaney, yours truly, vice president, Marty McIntosh as treasurer, Rhonda Jelinek as financial secretary, and Elaine Barger, who refuses to leave, is the secretary. The general board members, new general board members, Howard Weisman, Scott Weber, Lynn Mendez, Gary Fraden, and Marcy Swede. So I'll take a motion to accept the nominating committee's recommendation and a second. So we've got Ruth and we'll let Barry can put his hand up for a second. Okay? So all in favor of the new slate, please raise your hands. Unanimous. Beautiful. Thank you all very much. Why don't you let the people come back in? Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Craig. That is not an easy job to convince people, to welcome people onto the board. So thank you, and thank you to all of our new board members, because we really, really look forward to working with you. So you already did the whole motion and accept and all that. Okay. So our annual congregational meeting is an essential milestone to review all that we've accomplished over the past year and to look ahead to the coming year, knowing we will face all of the celebrations and challenges together as a strong community. I want to start off by giving some heartfelt thank yous. We are very fortunate for the level of commitment we consistently receive from all of our staff. Rabbi Ken has been our esteemed rabbi for over 10 years now and is contracted to stay with us through 2034. We are so honored that he is willing to show that level of extended commitment to our community. He successfully pivoted this year after the sad closing of Bertucci's, much to our congregants' relief, to create Friends at the Forge. And for the first time this year, he created, with the help of Diane Siegel and Deb Schechter, a community baby naming ceremony in which quite a few prospective members participated, an exciting glimpse into our future, with hopefully a wave of new young members. Jerry Robbins has agreed to remain as our executive director of Sulam through 2027. She's brought amazingly innovative programming to our students, often supported by grants that she applies for on our behalf, including a $10,000 grant we are all very excited about for this upcoming year. I would also like to mention that this past March, she was honored as this year's Boston chapter of Hadassah's Woman of Honor, an honor much deserved. Our cantorial soloist, David Rothberg, who has now been with us for over 15 years, has also agreed to remain on with us through 2027. David shined this year with his innovative musical initiatives. He composed a heartwarming song to commemorate our 50th anniversary and also put together a rousing 1976-style Shabbat in celebration of that special milestone. He also increased his adult education initiatives this year with his Brown Bag Bible and Israel Behind the Headlines classes. As members of TCS, we are so fortunate to have a staff that enthusiastically creates educational, social, and ritual programming for all ages that is rich in experience and the envy of many other congregations our size. We are truly blessed to have such a talented and dedicated professional staff. After rebuilding our office staff last year, we have made huge strides in our organizational abilities and our outreach to our internal community as well as the greater Jewish community. Melissa Frank has transformed our web presence with our new stunning website, which will we will begin our enhanced SEO and social media initiatives this summer, hopefully drawing more members to TCS. She has also enhanced all of our event promotions with her elegant professional designs. Sydney Strackman has done an amazing job organizing our daily office responsibilities, streamlining our digital files, and she worked all year long creating a digital archive of all our past newsletters, photos, and other memorable materials, which will be an enormous value to us in preserving our history. I also want to give a hearty thank you to Brenda Leonard, our longtime bookkeeper who has been so dedicated over the years and has done an amazing job keeping our finances organized and showing great flexibility and leadership as we move from one treasurer to another, which is not easy. Our TCS Board of Directors is a dedicated group of individuals who continually come together as one to accomplish great work, guiding this community with virtue and always staying true to TCS's core values. They each work tirelessly, often on multiple committees, to help strengthen and build our temple. Throughout my tenure on this board, I have been consistently impressed by the level of professionalism and respect exhibited by each and every one, and I am honored to be a part of this leadership group. As Craig mentioned, one of our esteemed board members, Hannah Thomas, will be stepping down at the end of this term, and another esteemed board member, Beth Hare, unfortunately needed to resign. But I just wanted to thank them both for their service. It has really, truly been a pleasure working with them. Rhonda Jelinek, who's been our amazing treasurer over the last 4 years, will also be stepping down and passing the treasurer torch to Marty McIntosh, as Craig mentioned. Over both my and Craig's presidency, Rhonda has kept our finances in pristine condition. And over the past year, she's put in many hours streamlining our financials and organizing our accounts so as to make it much more efficient for those who step into the treasurer role in the future. She's an integral member of the board of directors, and through this role, she has kept us on track financially, making sure we remain fiscally sound throughout the year. Rhonda, I cannot thank you enough for being not only a reliable and dedicated, detail-oriented treasurer, but also a trusted confidant and friend, and as I have navigated my way through my presidency. And speaking of supporting me in my presidency, Craig Barger, our immediate past president, has been such an inspirational mentor to me over the past 2 years. He always had my back, even when I didn't even know I needed it. In the moment, Craig, thank you so much for your 5 years of unrelenting dedication to the presidency, and then these additional 2 years of being my safety net. I know this congregation feels an enormous amount of gratitude to you for your service, and I am thrilled you will be staying on the board. I hope you all join us on June 12th for our installation and our volunteer appreciation service. That will be a very special evening when we will thank those who are stepping down from the board and celebrate and welcome those who are stepping up to join as new board members. We will also recognize those current board members who are staying on or rising to a new role, and this will be a particularly bittersweet evening for me as I step down from my presidency and welcome our new president, Alicia Dancy. The only way we were able to successfully balance our budget this past year was through the amazing generosity and philanthropic spirit of our congregants. I will let Rhonda share all the details of that in her budget presentation, but I will just note some highlights. We sold more High Holy Day tickets this year than we have in recent past. We had a very successful High Holy Day appeal and an even more successful 50th anniversary gift registry fundraiser, which financed improvements to our facilities in a multitude of ways. Just a few of those highlights are the renovation of our multipurpose room, the foyer shelving, and our exterior appearance with new landscaping. We're going to be removing some rotted wood on the front and get a fresh coat of paint. We had a series of phenomenal 50th anniversary events, including a special 50th anniversary progressive dinner, Yom Yisrael Day, a celebratory 50th anniversary Shabbat, as mentioned, a nostalgic 1976 Shabbat service, and an international wine and food tasting event, which was a fan favorite. We also had another hugely successful road race, thanks to the Kepners, and a truly magical gala event. With all these endeavors, big and small, our donations and our fundraising successfully surpassed our budgeted goals. However, in my opinion, even more significant than the financial successes of these events were the engagement successes. We have never seen our community so thoroughly engaged in all our programming, which was undeniable when we sold out our gala in under 2 weeks. We may be a small community, but we are mighty in our enthusiasm for our beloved TCS and all its members. I'm sure this coming year will present us with new challenges, as well as some carried over from this past year. We continue to be challenged with safety concerns while trying to build a strong, growing community within an atmosphere of increasing anti-Semitism, both here and abroad. But let's hope this new year brings peace from violence, sees us welcome new members to our vibrant community, and continues to bring engaging social and spiritual programming to our TCS congregation. I would now like to ask our treasurer, Rhonda Jelinek, to report on the budget results from this past year and present the new budget for the coming year.
No? Okay, great. So, state of our finances. And as Jen said, this is our golden anniversary year, so this is going to be quite, you're in for a treat with our numbers. Okay, so our annual commitment structure, am I blocking you? Okay. Annual commitment structure is, this year stayed as it did the year before. If you guys remember, the year before we introduced, was it this year? Last year we introduced a new due structure where we eliminated tuition for religious school, and we revamped what we were charging, the dues category. So this is what we billed this year. As you can see, the couple rate is $2,560. That's for under 65. A single under 65 is $1,585. And then when you're 65 and over, the price goes down to $1,350 for a couple and $995 for a single. An affiliate URJ member is somebody who has a membership with another URJ synagogue and also wants to be a member here as well. So that's what we charge for affiliate. Okay, we continued with our Shalom Care financial assistance program. If you remember from last year, we had a very generous donor that gave us a large sum of money. We put it in a separate restricted account. It is used we grant up to $30,000 a year for people who need financial aid, and we move it over, whatever we give out in financial aid, we move over from that restricted account to our operating account at the end of the year. Based upon our current projections, we have funding that will remain available for approximately 3 more years in that. We did get a very generous donation from the estate of Marcia Hicks of $10,000. So we're using that money as well. We're going to add that to Shalom Care because that is something that she would have liked. Okay, so this was what we brought in revenue, and I'm going to go over this in more detail in the next slides, but we had, with Shalom Care, we had, I'm sorry, I should say that we have 6 more weeks left of the fiscal year, so these are projections, but with a good amount of solid information. So this is what we're expecting for annual commitments, $242,766 with Shalom Care of $28,500. Donations, when I say donations, it's I'm going to show you in the next slide what it is. It's not all of our donations, but our major donations were $170,000. Fundraising events, approximately $40,000. Security fee revenue, that $125 that we charge every family, that will bring in $15,000. We have some grant income I'm going to tell you about that we're using for this current fiscal year of $21,000. We also, there was an IRS COVID-related payroll rebate or incentive that we got. We were able to file for because Massachusetts was one of the few states that had mandatory shutdowns in 2021. Years ago, we already had applied for and received this for 2020, but we became aware that there was some additional funds that were available for the year of 2021. So last year, we actually partnered with a tax firm that specializes in helping synagogues recoup some of that money, and for about a $1,500 fee paid to this tax firm, we ended up getting $15,500 back, which came in this fiscal year. We applied last year. We were told to take several years, depending on what's going on in Washington, D.C., for these things to come through. It came through this year, so that was a nice surprise. And then we brought in $6,000 in high holy day tickets, which were, as Jen said, was more than what we brought in any year before, I believe. So the main financial donations is $78,000 in general donations. That's basically not high holy day appeal, it's separate, just general donations that come in throughout the year. High Holy Day Appeal brought in about $75,000 more. So again, the general donations was $78,000. High Holy Day Appeal about $75,000. Memorial stones and plaques were $5,000, and we received a $10,000 donation for the building legacy plaque. Do you want to talk more about that? Because you.
Sure. So we had a family. We had a family approach us and say that they wanted to make a donation in memory of a loved one. And so we thought about different places in the synagogue that could make sense. And we were building the new shelves, and they felt really good about that. So for $10,000, they wanted to make a $10,000 donation. And so we have, for the Meltzer family, they are going to have a plaque on that shelving in honor of their loved one.
You explained that better than I could have. And then we also collected $50,674 in gift registry donations for our 50th anniversary. So that's in addition to everything else I just told you about. And that is a little different as far as cataloging it in our accounting, because that is things that are that's money that will be spent for specific items rather than going into just our general operating account. So for instance, we received $30,000 to replace the air conditioners in this room, which if you've been here during the summer or on a hot, high holy day, you'll be very happy about that. So it's being recorded on my end a little differently because it's not operating account money, but I just wanted to let you know that Jen's made an amazing project out of this, and it was very successful. I think 85% of what we wanted was granted about, so pretty good. Very generous. And our estimated expenses. So Our estimated expenses are $455,500. Again, we have 6 weeks left, so this is a very educated guess, but this is very close. After doing this for 4 years, this is very, very close to where we will come in. So as typical, payroll and staff expenses is the majority of our outlay. That includes payroll and professional development and pensions and insurance, like long-term disability insurance that we pay for, and of course, payroll taxes. Contract labor is High Holy Day. We have a Torah reader, as you know, David Wolf, that we pay for to read Torah for us. We have some staff that we hire for the kids service, and we have cleaning service. House and building, obviously, that would be any repairs that we make, the landscaping, the snow removal, any system, like the boiler system that we had to do some work on. We have security. We spent about 4.6% of our budget on security, so that's $21,000. I should say that $11,000 in grant money was received from the CJP. Thank you to Craig. He was instrumental in getting that for us. We got two $5,000 grants and another $1,000 grant, actually, that the rabbi helped us get for outside. If anyone was doing outside candle lighting for Hanukkah, they were giving out $1,000 just to have police detail there. So we did get a lot of funding from the CJP for that. Utilities are about $18,000. Insurance is $12,000. Rentals, that would be the trailer, David's trailer outside, and the copy machine. IT and technology, replacing laptops, software subscriptions. And the rest is operations and supplies, dues and subscriptions, like paying for the UR to be member of the URJ and any other operating expenses. So we're going to end the year, because of the extraordinary donations that we received, our dues revenue, our security and systems revenue, our fundraising, our 50th Gala gift registry, we're going to be ending the year with a generous surplus, which will be allowing us for the first time in our history to consider the possibility of creating an endowment, which we're going to be talking to you more about that in the coming months. It will not be me. But. Anyone have any questions on this? Yeah. So it's 20. So the extra $1,500 will stay in the account. So we give up to $30,000, whatever is needed. 30 per year. Yeah, correct. It is not, actually. No, it's sitting in a separate account. It's interest-bearing. It's interest-bearing. It's just not. It's not. It's a very low interest rate that we're getting on it. No. It could be. Yeah. Yeah, that's something that we should probably do. You're right. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. So, projected budget for this coming fiscal year, which will start July 1st. So our dues will remain the same, and our security and systems fee will remain the same. We're not implementing any dues increase. We anticipate collecting, this is always something that you never really, anyone who's been treasurer before, Randy, you never know what you're going to collect for dues revenue, right? You don't know how many people are going to join, who's staying. Hopefully everybody's staying, but people move away. You just don't know. So this is a projection. And it's a very conservative projection based on what we know as far as with our young families who are telling us they're joining. We actually already have 2 new families, at least that I know of, that are already filled out paperwork to join. So we'll have some new members, but I'm not sure how many. This is a projection. We'll anticipate $30,000 in Shalom Care will be offset by that Shalom Care account, and about $6,000 in non-member religious school income, which is maybe like $1,000 plus some tutoring money that will be brought in, and bar and bat mitzvah fee. General donations, we're anticipating $125,000 in general giving and the High Holy Day appeal. Fundraising events. People ask what's the difference between donations and fundraising or events. So when I say events, we're talking about events that happen to also generate money, like this year. The road race, the gala that we've had in the past, a comedy show with the car auction. David, I know, I'm not asking you to do that. Marty's not asking you to do that. The basket raffles. So those are things that help us keep our, yeah. It wasn't as much as I thought it would be. It was about $2,100. I'm sorry, the question was how much did we bring in from the gift basket? I think I have down $2,100. Okay. Progressive dinner, comedy show. These are the things that bring in revenue for us as events. And I don't know what they will be next year, but they will be incredible, right?
And everybody will come.
And everybody will come. That's why it's important to come to these events and support us. Okay, the security and systems fee will generate about $18,000. Grant income, we anticipate at least $15,000 in grant income. We already, let me adjust something I said before. I said we had $21,000 in grant money this year. We actually received $31,000. 10 of it we're deferring for this coming fiscal year because we're planning on using it next fiscal year. So we already have 10 of that 5, and we are really positive that we're going to be getting probably even more than $15,000. We've just been on a very good trajectory with grant money lately, and the CJP has been very generous with grant money.
I'm really excited. One of our new board members, Marcy Swede, that's going to be her focus and passion, is specifically working on grants for us. She's a great grant writer, and she's going to be working in conjunction with Tal Schechter, who will be working also on grants to help us with security and anti-Semitism issues and things like that. So we have some really great efforts we are going to put forward to people who are just going to really be focused on that area. It'll be much more direct.
So that could end up being a lot more. I mean, we got $21,000 this year that we didn't expect at all. So, okay, so total projected revenue will be $461,385, and that's dues revenue, religious school, bar bat mitzvah tutoring, Shalom Care offset, fundraising events, security and systems fee, grant income, high holy day tickets, and donations. Expenses expected. Staff expenses, that's the salary is $283,300 for clergy, educational director, clergy being David and the rabbi, teachers, and office staff. Contract labor is $9,500. That's the High Holy Day assistants and our cleaner. And we're budgeting a little bit more for the cleaner this year because we decided late this year that we needed to have the cleaner come in every week instead of every other week because it was just looking very dirty. And so we're going to maintain that during the school year we're going to have the cleaner come in every week. Professional development is for David, the rabbi, and Jerry is $7,500. That's a contractual obligation that we have. And then pension, taxes, long-term disability insurance. So that totals $336,100. House expenses with utilities is, I'm estimating 47,000. This has been pretty stable for the last few years, so I'm pretty confident in that number. Utilities are usually about 20,000, and the rest would go to snow removal, lawn care, trash removal, repairs. Upgrades, Jen said, I just wanted to add this in. So some of the 50th anniversary gift registry money that we're putting aside is, we'll be having some painting done, wood replacement and painting. 3 new air conditioning units will be purchased, and those are going to be paid for through the 50th anniversary gift registry. Security will be about 20,000 so far this year. We spent, I think I'm estimating that we're going to end the year at 21,500 or so, so it'll be about 20,000. I don't anticipate the need for that to go down, unfortunately. IT hardware and software, 7,000. I added a little extra money in because we used to have Lou Levine was a member, and he handled the vast majority of our IT. We are in need of hiring some assistance with our IT. It's just not feasible to have volunteers handle all the urgent issues that come up with IT. Like, we just need to have someone on staff, and Mike Kamens has been unable to really help us as much as we really need because of some health issues, and it just has gotten to the point where we just need to have some extra money on staff to hire some tech assistants. 31,900 for just miscellaneous and operational expenses, advertising and promotion, bank charges, insurance, postage, supplies, materials, dues, and subscriptions. That's like the URJ dues and the rabbi's rabbinical dues. We are anticipating this is a pretty stable number. The copy machine rental and the trailer rental is 7,100. Membership events, Passover event, the Passover Seder, music and meals, total 8,200. And anticipated expenses are 460,350, so like within $1,000 of what we budgeted in revenue. So we will have a balanced budget. That's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Rhonda.
I'm sorry? What are the bank fees? That is our processing fees that we pay for credit cards, which some of which the congregants are paying, but some that we pay to like process our credit cards, and yeah. Yes. So I don't want to give a sitting in our bank account in total, or at just extra from this year, because we have about.
Yeah, in the bank account.
Okay.
Because I imagine, I think it was last year, I think we also
Yeah, we had about a $30,000 surplus last year, so our operating account with that surplus has about $220,000 in it. We also have some money in Fidelity account. We have some money, but I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we're rolling in money, because we're not. But for the first time in a while, we feel like we have some breathing room. Say it again. I know, there were some lean years. So part of, and I think David Reichman can attest to this, part of the hurdle I think that we got that helped us get over that, being that tight, was COVID. We got some COVID relief money, And our expenses were low during COVID because we weren't here, we weren't doing anything, right? So I think that helped us build a little bit of a cushion. We got some payroll protection money back, and we had a little bit of extra money, and it's gotten a little better.
And the goal for the endowment is to protect us against those times. So, you know, the endowment is a commitment. So if we have this opportunity, it means putting that money away and not touching it for a few years, you know, and then letting it grow, but then having that be as something we can draw on to do special things when we need to. So, you know, it's been a goal for a long time, and I think that this is finally the opportunity we might have to do it. So it'll be, but more to come on that. That's not.
It's also important to really stress that, as you can see, our dues revenue that we're bringing in is not cutting it, right? So if we had to rely just on our dues, we would be in huge trouble. We are in this position because we have some extremely generous congregants who have really dug deep into their pockets and really helped us. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how generous people have been. And we have to be, I am so thankful that we have members that are willing to do that and that help us.
And I do want to say this year, like, we have relied on just those, you know, those few over the years, but this year, I really do want to say I felt like everybody dug deep to come out and really participate in this special 50th anniversary, and it really shows that engagement. So.
And I have to say, Jen has been absolutely amazing helping us raise this money this year, and just everything she's done with being president. But talk about putting your heart and soul into something. And she's been wonderful. But I mean, from a financial perspective, she had that. She was like, we're going to make this an amazing year, and in all ways it really was.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah. Yeah. My favorite topic. I have. Adam doesn't want to hear this anymore. We've talked about it. No. Good question. I was wondering if someone was going to ask that. So, the trailer's old. The trailer is 15 years old. It was purchased when Jen Faber was president, and I think leased. Sorry, it was leased. So old that the people that the Triumph Modular, who we lease it from, they don't even have our paperwork anymore because they've been through 3 system changes and they haven't kept it. So, believe it or not, to purchase the trailer, $37,000, and we've already spent more money than we should have on leasing it over the years. So we're leasing it. We're just continuing to lease. Yeah, and they've tried to increase the price, and I'm like, no. I shut it down. Like, no, we're not paying you any more than you come get it then. And I tried to kind of have a standoff with them about it. It didn't work. But I wanted them to basically say, give us $5,000 and we'll, you know, yeah. Yeah, we spent, yeah. I don't know. You think? So we pay $320 a month with the stairs. The stairs, believe it or not, are $20. So it's $320 a month. Yes. So
No, they
no,
actually,
no, they do.
actually, this year, we called them
called them.
because they were literally rusting out. I mean, the stairs were, it was so dangerous, and I was like, you need to come fix this. And they did. They actually came and
They will
replaced
come
it.
out and do stuff to it. David, I don't know if there's anything else that needs to be done to it, is there? Let us know. But, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Well, nope, nope, nope. Nope,
Yes.
there was no lease to purchase. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, David
Yep.
still has
It's-
classes in
and
there.
we do use it. Yep. And you can definitely, we can talk and talk and talk about the trailer.
All right,
Um,
so I think,
No,
no,
it's
no, it's
okay.
okay.
We've spent a lot of
So-
time talking about it. It's not. Yes.
right.
We do use it for Sulam and Gesher.
So if there are no other questions, we need to take
Oh,
a, yes.
Deb has a question? Oh, the building expansion money, that,
So what happened with that was that, this year, this is before I took on as treasurer, but my recollection is that the donors were all contacted, and they gave their authorization to use it for, this expansion,
we did the roof,
We
we
did
did the
the roof.
boiler.
and we made some major building,
Yeah.
improvements. Yeah. The ACs, I don't know if anyone remembers what this used to look like up here.
Yep.
This is a huge improvement. So if there are no other questions on the budget, we'll go to a vote.
Yeah, I'm going to make a motion. Rhonda, Adam, to accept the budget, and you second it, okay? Any discussion? Not. We vote to approve. Hands of all who approve? Okay, hands of anybody who rejects? Abstain? So moved. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
Do you mind doing my arrows for me? Just, okay. Okay, so a lot of you probably saw this year with all of the different, sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, with all the different events that we had and the donations, things we did, we started using Give Butter. There have been some questions about how it works, and I think that some people aren't aware of all of the little intricacies about it, so I wanted to make sure that we went over this a little bit so that you're aware, and it's all very transparent on what you're choosing and when. So this page here is, I'm just using the gala ticket as an example. So you would come to this page, whatever it is that you're buying, and you would choose the quantity that you want. And then you would hit continue. Can you just arrow to the next one? Okay, So then you come to a page that has donation with different suggested amounts, and over here, it says other. So this is a donation to TCS. So here is where you can decide, I'm buying something for $30, I want to give an extra $10 or $5, whatever, to TCS. So here you would put in whatever you want, and then you would hit continue, and whatever you choose will show in your total over there. Okay, so then you put in your information, I got the chicken dinner, and I wanted to sit with friends, and then you hit continue again. And all the time it's showing you what your total is over here. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit, there's extra things. So up under $118, you could say it says plus $3.83 processing fee. That is the credit card processing fee that we get charged by the bank, by the credit card company, to use a credit card. You can opt to include it, and then you'll see it comes over here on the right-hand side under processing fee, or it says edit next to fee. If you click edit, you can choose not to. It'll ask you how much do you want to pay of the processing fee, and you can go all the way down to 0. So, so that's in the upper left corner. Right there. See the little word edit? Okay. Then it says next to the heart, an optional tip allows Tempo Chaye Shalom to use GiveButter's 100% free fundraising platform and keep it running to all nonprofits. We chose GiveButter because they do not charge us. And what they basically survive off of tips. So it's not mandatory. You don't have to give them a tip. It will not affect whether or not they let us use them. Everybody could choose 0 all the time. They will not kick us off. But the hope is that people will understand that this is us and other nonprofits are able to do the kind of work we're able to do and use these kind of services because they do offer them, and then they survive on their tips. So the little arrow above and below, the 15%, you can arrow up and arrow down to whatever you want. They put in a 15% as a default, just like when you're at a restaurant and they're like, oh, don't you want to give us 20%? And you're like, maybe not. So you get to ultimately choose what you want. You can arrow up and down, and again, you can go all the way to 0 if that's what you choose. And it will show over here. So over here it's showing you the tip added in at 15% is $17.70. That would show as 0 if you arrowed down. And then you hit the little button to pay, or credit card, debit card, however you want to pay. I think that might be the last one. Is that the last one? Okay. So are there any questions about how this works? Okay, yeah, Becky. At any time, you can always send a check into the office. That is not a problem. People like to do, there's also an option here to sign up and see how under it says right here, pay another way. I think if you scroll down, I don't know if I have a picture, it's not in the picture, I'm sorry. I think it says you can check off to send a check in. That way, like, we can get your online enrollment, but you can ultimately pay by a check. But you don't even have to do this at all if you don't want to. We will always accept checks. So it's totally, this is only for your people's convenience who prefer to pay by credit card or Apple Pay or PayPal or however you want to pay, and want to do it quickly online right then and there and not have to bring it or mail a check in.
And we usually have someone in the office, right?
Yes.
Going forward with keeping the same office.
Our office hours are Tuesday through Friday from 10 to 3. Or you can always drop it off and slide it under the door when you're here, whenever you're here. No, if you wanted to pay as a direct withdrawal, you'd have to set that up. You can do that through Rakefet for other kinds of donations and your dues payments and things, but you'd need to set that up through Brenda.
And if you don't have a Rakefet account and you would like one, let us know. Everybody has the ability to get on Rakefet. We have, Rakefet is our database that we use for keep family information, our family database, and our finances in lieu of QuickBooks.
almost done. The last thing, so, well, not the last thing, but almost. As you'll see in your committee booklet, hopefully you all grabbed a committee booklet when you came in. That shows you all of the various committees we have going on. Our newest committee is the Anti-Semitism Task Force, we're calling ATF, chaired by Tal Schechter. And that committee strives to ensure that every person in our community can live their Judaism openly and proudly. Rooted in Jewish values of justice, peoplehood, and mutual responsibility, this task force confronts anti-Semitism with clarity, compassion, and action. It seeks to strengthen our Jewish identities and feelings of belonging by integrating security practices, age-appropriate education about anti-Semitism, and robust communal partnerships. Its goal is to ensure that every synagogue member feels safe, supported, and empowered to live Jewishly with confidence and pride. One of the first-year initiatives of this committee is a new greeter usher program that enhances safety and consistency. It is currently in the process of being implemented. We will also be adding information to our website that will support our community, letting them know that TCS is here for them if they are hurt by or concerned about anti-Semitic incidents. I just want to give you all an idea of what to expect with this updated policy, which is designed to strengthen both our welcoming atmosphere and a responsible building access through clear shared procedures. Greeters and ushers during services and other times, and office staff serve as warm hosts, not security personnel. So these straightforward guidelines avoid our greeters having to make difficult judgment calls on their own. So in most cases, congregants and expected guests will simply be greeted and welcomed as you used to. Additional verification steps are only used when someone is unfamiliar to the greeter. The same procedures apply during weekdays and Hebrew school hours when staff responds to somebody at the door when they buzz the door buzzer. So we ask that congregants be patient with our greeters since they may not know all of our members. Please know that if you are asked your name or if you are a member, this is not intended as an affront. It is purely an effort by the greeter to maintain safety and abide by our new protocols. Any unfamiliar visitors who are not members and do not know any temple members by name should have a legitimate reason to enter our building, and they will be asked to show ID. The updated protocol emphasizes simplicity, consistency, and respect for visitor privacy, so only minimal information will be recorded from our visitors, and backup support is always available if uncertainty arises. Greeters will always have an assigned backup person when they are here, so I think you probably see at services when there's always 2 board members here at a minimum. And so they will always have a backup they can easily contact if they have any doubts about a situation. Jewish communal safety organizations consistently emphasize situational awareness as a primary protective measure, sort of the see something, say something methodology. Accordingly, this protocol focuses on greeters who are not security personnel. Rather, they serve as a warm, attentive, and calmly observant host who help preserve a welcoming atmosphere while appropriately responding to any potential concerns. Only assigned and trained greeters or ushers following established procedures may admit unfamiliar individuals into the building during events and activities. So basically what we're saying is that if you're at an event and somebody's knocking on the door, we ask that you not be the one to go open that door and let that person in. I know it's an instinct to do that, but we just find the person in charge of the event or the board member, and they will just make sure that the appropriate steps are taken. An unfamiliar face may still be a congregant or an invited guest, and greeters are not expected to personally recognize everyone. Instead, greeters rely on shared procedures, membership, and guest lists, which we will have at the door, and standardized verification practices. One way our members can help all of our greeters and ensure an easy and safe entry into the building is for all members to use their door codes, remembering to hit the pound sign after you put in your 4-digit code. We all have a door code to get into our phones and our computers and our garage doors, so it shouldn't be difficult to come up with a 4-digit code that you'll remember. We all need to be in the habit of using that code when entering the temple, because if you use your code, the greeter doesn't have to even think about whether or not you belong here. So if for some reason you do not have a code or you don't remember your code, please see Elaine in the back of the room after the meeting and she can help you. If you hear of any other members who don't know their code or don't remember it, please have them see Elaine and we can get you set up. I want to give a really big thank you to Tal for leading this charge and to the whole task force who have put many hours of work into these initiatives in an effort to help us all feel comfortable and safe in our spiritual home. And we as members need to do our part to uphold this important work and show our appreciation by supporting the policies the task force puts into place and assisting the efforts of our greeters to uphold those policies. So thank you for that in advance. Rabbi, would love to invite you up. Want to say a few words?
I'm happy to say a few words. Because the night has been full of numbers. Annual meetings have a lot of numbers in them. We've got the whole budget. We've got the number of your 4-digit code, all the numbers of the quorum, making sure that we're all here, which is appropriate for this week because this week we begin the 4th book of the Torah, which is the book of Numbers. Right, exactly. Thank you for playing with me. Right, and it is called the book of Numbers because of all the numbers that are in it. Specifically, at the beginning of the book, we get the first example of Moses taking a census of the Israelites. And there are a number of these census takings throughout this part of the book. This is where we get the famous number that there were 600,000 Israelites at Mount Sinai, which is, specifically that's the men over the age of 20 who are included in that counting. But what strikes me when I think about numbers like that, when I think about numbers in terms of a census, is that we tend to focus on the total, the number 600,000. And we don't think that we don't think that that number 600,000 means one individual 600,000 times. Right? That we shouldn't think of the people as one giant mass. We should think of each person who makes up that group together. When I think about this congregation and what we have accomplished this year, I feel like, first of all, this year was brought to you by the number 50. But apart from that, we are not an undifferentiated mass of people who make up this congregation. We are individuals, each of us with our own gifts, each of us with our own strengths, each of us with our own contributions. And each of us is necessary to make up the fabric of this congregation. We would not have been able to do what we did this year. We would not have been able to be who we are this year or ever without each one of you, each person on YouTube, each person who's not connected to the meeting at all. It is the individuals who make up this congregation. And so I am grateful for all of you, and I'm grateful for each of you for everything that you have brought, that you continue to bring, that you continue to do to make up this amazing tapestry that we are fortunate to enjoy together. I particularly want to offer my thanks to the individual to my right, because it has been a pleasure for 2 years working with Jen as president. This year in particular, as people have already said, she has gone above and beyond the call of not just the presidential duty, but any sane individual's duty to spearhead so much of our 50th anniversary celebration. All of the wonderful successes that we highlighted this year, while many people were involved in them, Jen was behind most of them. And it is truly a labor of love, I know, for you to have done this for our congregation, but it is a labor of love for us to thank you and appreciate you. So you may only have one board meeting left. But our gratitude will last a lot longer than that. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. That was very sweet. So I'd like to ask for a motion to conclude our meeting. So we have David, we have Tony, And that's it. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.